Okay, so the game ends like that. That's how you know what? Being a Packers fan, any Packers fan for that matter, how can you even find the words to describe how that game just ended? Me, I can sum it up in a few words: awful, disgusting, embarrassing, just an absolutely terrible ending to that game. And we got robbed. Nobody can tell me that we did not just get robbed that game. Nobody can sit here and tell me and say that Seattle earned that victory. And shout outs to the defense. Shout outs to the defense, because for the second straight game, the defense played great. Alright, Seattle really didn't do anything this game. Yeah, we let them get that touchdown in the second quarter, but other than that, they didn't do anything. Marshawn Lynch didn't really do much. I think he still managed to get barely over 100 yards, I believe. Or maybe held them to that 98, I think. But, he wasn't a big factor in this game. We did our thing on defensive side of the ball. And in the last play of the game on the Hail Mary, defense comes up one more time to save us out of that game. MP Jennings, ball is in his hands. He catches it. Ball in his hands, up against his chest, just like this water bottle is on my chest. He has it. And for some reason, they decided to call that a touchdown anyway. And with them calling a touchdown, of course, Packers fans are all ballistic and angry like I was. And of course, Seattle and the rest of their teammates and all of them around on the field, yay, we won the game, blah, blah. They didn't win anything. I mean, Pete Carroll, of course, he's not going to admit it. Russell Wilson, he's not going to admit it. Hell, even Tate's not going to admit it. None of them Seahawks going to be like, yo, we didn't earn this game. It was an our team. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. But we know who is going to do it, and that's the team that got screwed out of this game, and that was the Packers. Boy, what an ugly ending. And this game was pretty much ugly right from the get-go. I mean, it wasn't even just about the ending. Just some terrible calls all around. I'm not going to sit here and fake. That pass interference call for Jermichael Finley, that was bogus. I'm not going to sit here and fake. But then you turn around and they get the ball back, and they call an awful call on Sam Shields for pass interference, but Sidney Rice is clearly jumping on his back and pulling his head back a little bit. And that goes on the defense. You can pretty much just say with them having home field advantage is what won them to cause these games. At the end of the day, with them being home, that's what won them this game. I don't know how you can sit there and call that a touchdown at the end, though. That was just awful. But like I said, this game was ugly right from the beginning. The offense did nothing the first half. Nothing. I sit here and think about what Mike McCarthy said. He said, we want to have some kind of a run game. He wants to establish a run game. Funny, in that first half, you didn't really try to do that. I mean, almost pretty much every goddamn time we had the ball, we were dropping back, trying to pass the ball. Getting away from the game plan that we want to come into the league with. Establish a run game and then get back to the passing and doing what we do. We didn't do that. At least not in the first half. And it led to Aaron Rodgers getting sacked 8 times. 8 times. Sacked 8 times in the first half. And some of those sacks, you can kind of blame on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, one sack, maybe 1 or 2 sacks, he could have just threw the ball away. Now, granted, nothing's wrong with trying to make a play, trying to find somebody open, but if there's nothing there, Aaron, just throw the ball away. Just throw it away, man. Just throw it away. Defense is playing good. Just throw the ball away. We only sacked Russell Wilson one time. Credits to Nick Perry for getting his first official sack of this season. But other than that, we held their offense in check. Seattle didn't really do much at all on offense, and I'm not going to really say we did much on offense either. This was a defensive battle. Both defenses played good this game. Both. Shout outs to Seattle's defense. They shut our offense down in the first half. Second half comes out, we come out finally deciding to, oh, okay, let's go ahead and run the ball. You know, just take some of that pressure off. Let's run the ball. We do that, we get down there, we only come away with 3 points. You know, kind of doing the same thing the next drive. We get a couple of flags here and there to going our way. Still come away with only 3 points. Then we got the ball again after defense makes another stop, and it's just like you could just, how can you not be more happy with the defense? I mean, again, the defense kept us in this game all game. Seattle didn't really do anything, and we're driving once again. Greg Jennings thought he had a touchdown. Foot was out of bounds. Aaron Rodgers tries to get a first down. They call it, he was short. Then they after a good challenge by Mike McCarthy, we get the 4th and inches turned to a first down. Get a touchdown by Cedric Benson. And I said to myself, after we got that touchdown, I said to myself, an interception would ice this game. That's what I said. An interception would ice this game. And that's what we got. Right? First play. Was it the first play? When they got the ball back? First or second play? Tip. Picked off. But what keeps that from being an interception? Roughing the passer. Was that roughing the passer, folks? I don't think so. But, once again, the officiating, you can pretty much say officiating was bad on both sides. But, for the most part, every flag we got, I didn't, except that one on Philly, I didn't really see too many bad calls on us. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not trying to just say, oh, it was only terrible for winning. The calls did go on us for helping them out, but for the most part, things that happened, the calls that went our way, I didn't really see too much of it being a terrible call. The only call I didn't agree with that went our way was that pass interference. So, yeah, we get roughing the pass and takes away the interception. They drive down the field and we stop them again. Defense comes up again, and again, you can't forget that stupid defensive pass interference call on Sam Shields. On Sidney Rice, just whew. If you're a Packers fan, there's no way you can sleep tonight. If you're a Packers player, there's no way you can sleep tonight. I mean, how awful it must have felt for them to have to come back outfield just so they can kick the extra point. And when they kicked it, obviously they didn't really try too much about blocking anything. I mean, would you care about blocking it? I know I wouldn't care. Bottom line is, we got robbed. Plain and simple, we got robbed. Only thing I can say is, Packers, the best thing to do is just hold your heads up. It's going to be a long flight home, but just hold your heads up and move on and just get ready for the Saints. We got the Saints, but this game is definitely going to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. I mean, I just got on Twitter a couple of minutes ago, and everybody's talking about it. People are going to be talking about this game all week. Just awful call. And at the end of the game, when it happened, I was sitting right there in my bed, right behind me, and watching it, and I'm just like, okay, cool, interception, game over, and then they call a touchdown. The referee comes out, you know, after looking over it again. I'm just like, well, is he going to reverse it? I mean, he should reverse it. No, he doesn't. It stands. Seattle walks away. It steals a victory from us. That's about it. I mean, what more can you really say? These refs are doing a very terrible job calling these games. And when the game's on the line like that in crunch time, you got to make the right call, and they didn't make the right call. So we fall to 1-2. I think we're tied with the Lions at the bottom of the division now, with Minnesota sitting on top. Minnesota and Chicago, excuse me, sitting on top, tied for first. Oh well. We got the Saints next week. Gotta get prepared for that. Peace.